Good evening, Chrono Trigger Jets of Time fans. Welcome to SpeedGaming Live 2021, the Jets of Time tournament, boss randomizer. And thank you for coming out. We are grateful for you here. We're ready to have some fun. We're going to get these runners started ASAP. Again, if you're not familiar with this is Chrono Trigger Jets of Time, the boss randomizer tournament. You're going to have characters swapped around. You're going to have everything swapped around. And we're going to look forward to everything we have in store. I am joined by Akuhais, my senpai. How's it going, my friend?
I am doing great there, Kiyu. And this should be a really great race with these two individuals.
I am just looking forward to exactly what we run into this seed. You can have all 7 characters. You can have all these bosses swapped around. You can have all these individual go modes. You got your Black Almond go mode. You got your Tyranno Lair go mode. You have your Magus Castle go mode. All of them are great. But today we're getting an A-list start with Chrono. Oh, let's go.
All sorts of nice physical damage right here.
I am always keen to see an Ayla go mode. Ayla is one of the characters who does not require you to have that gate key or the factory in the future to unlock all of her techs, and she is consistent throughout the entire game. Now, does she scale better with +4 power tabs? Absolutely. Does she scale better with a Super Ayla comp? Absolutely. But does she scale well with pretty much every comp in the game? Yes. That's why she is number 2 in my tier list.
I always feel bad leaving Luca behind, but she's not a collectible character yet.
Yeah. Both me and Aku love our Lucas. Luca is probably our favorite character in the game because of how many characters she makes a great dual tech with. However, it's very much dependent on if Fire 2 is your 8th tech, which is common these days, unfortunately.
Looks like Azure is going to go straight into the desert and lose that critical hit on 2nd and 4th hit.
Yeah, this is a play that I've looked at every time, and every time that I look at it, it's like you only get this for your first encounter, so you're foregoing that, which means you can't take these things like dipwood is and getting 2 techs on Chrono immediately. Because what you're going to do is you're going to use a tech on, you're going to use an attack on Chrono, and then you're going to use your attack on Ayla afterwards to guarantee you kill the jerk bird. So anytime you have a fast character that you really want to attack, so like a Magus, a Robo, or an Ayla or something like that, you want to wait until your slower character attacks first because it only works on the 2nd and 4th attack. And this fight in Danadoro is worth 8 tech points, which means you get double techs on anybody outside of like somebody like Magus.
And Azure picked up 2 Pearl Edges and a Hurricane. So some good weapons for 2 characters we don't have yet.
The Tailspin and Rock Throw are the rewards for Ayla, and Spin Cut and Cyclone for Chrono. So Tailspin already, that's a huge find. It is 1/2 of the, in my opinion, best tech in the game, Fire Whirl. It also is an unaspected magical damage, which means that you can use it on any sort of boss that you typically can find nasty at the early point in Cathedral. You get an early Tailspin, that opens up the game to me.
Yeah, that really does open up the game. Also, they learned that dual tech too.
Yeah, they learned Falcon Hit. that is massive. It is unexpected damage with Rock Throw and Spin Cut, and it is scary when you fight it that early. Holy crud. That is a room-wide clear anytime you see it. We may see a Chrono Ayla comp coming in. This is rare as heck, and I love it.
Yeah, and unlike the vanilla game, Falcon hits the whole screen instead of just one line.
Man, red pin. Feels bad.
And that would just take out all 4 of these Naga heads.
Man, I love it. Welcome to Jets, man. And it's not enough damage because Chrono doesn't have a power tab right now.
Oh, that almost makes you feel bad, but just do it again, you're fine. I'd rather take out all 4 with 2 attacks than doing 4 attacks.
I don't know. I've never seen this Naga fight cleared faster without something like a room-wide AoE magic spell that you can use immediately. But we also get our favorite character. All
Nice big
hail
chunky
Robo.
robot.
Church of Robo. I am already excited to see. We've got Falcon hit within 3 minutes of the game. Wow, this thing could go super fast at this point.
Yeah, it can. We just need a good sword on Chrono now.
Red Katana is not bad.
Early game? No, it's not.
Like, again, like that's something that's a low tier item, but it's actually the highest tier that you can typically find in a low tier, and it will clear a lot of enemies. Like, with Falcon hit and the Red Katana, that's gonna be awesome in my opinion.
How is Azure going to take out this fight?
Well, we know how dipwood's gonna clear out these henches here.
Yeah, Falcon hit worked well the last time. Let's continue with it. Yeah, 2 Cyclones equals enough damage for 1 Falcon hit. Dipwood showing us tech knowledge can be amazing.
Dipwood also immediately dropping out of the Cathedral with Falcon Head.
Yeah, I don't blame them. Go in, get that bromide, leave, you get 1 of every tab, and go looking for key items.
Now, I have a question, because I saw the Dipwood SVJ match, and I openly ask, this has punished him in the past. Is it worth him to do it?
Well, if you leave, level up some, grind a little bit from finding key items, come back, it can be quicker to come back and trounce the boss. If you need that character.
Definitely things to worry about, because it only takes 1. Again, we have 1 of the 3 characters you need for all of the checks in the game. There are 3 characters you need for checks. You need Marley for the Prism Shard quest. You need Robo for the Desert quest. And you need Frog, potentially, for a Magus Castle check. Which is also a good one, but...
What does our carpenter have on top of his fridge today? It is a nice hero medal.
To answer Thelo Tilo, why is the gate key important? 2 reasons. Number 1, it gives you prehistoric access. The other thing is it gives you end of time access. It's the easiest way to give you magic unlock for Chrono, Frog, Luca, and Marley. So that is why it's important. You can also get magic access through the future by getting the pendant. Pendant unlocks the future, and then you have to go complete factory. So there you go.
Dipwood not wanting to pay almost 10,000 for a bent sword.
The other advantage of having a gate key is it gets you both the Dactyl Nest, which is another character unlock, and also access to the Reptite Lair, which is another key item, and the Tyranno Lair if you have the Dreamstone, which gives you unlock to the Dark Ages.
Dipwood is going to show us what character is here and what that hero medal turns into. It is Vanilla Frog.
And it's the Robo's ribbon from the hero medal check. Oh, that is huge. Oh, yes. Give us that +3 speed. Give us that barrier. Give us those sunshades. And give us that side scope for a Robo. Make our Robo strong. Fearless. Give us that Robo tackle that hurts.
And AzureCale figuring out how Falcon Hit works and taking out that 5 enemy spot.
And as we say this, in chat we have Falcon Hit. And as Falcon Hit has showed up in chat, we've already had Falcon Hit twice already in the seed within the first 10 minutes. How's it going, my friend?
Yeah, with Jets of Time, the Robo's ribbon is an equipable accessory, and because it's an equipable accessory, we have been able to alter it and increase its power.
But today in Cathedral, instead of Yakra, we have Atropos. So, yo dog, here comes more ribbon showing up. Punching is good. We always want to see either punching or healing from Atropos, because everything else is AoE damage.
I think she is on a script, so it's going to go through that script no matter what you do to her.
The good news is she's only going to have between 1,000 and, 900 and about 1,400 health, so it's relatively quick to get through. You do have to still deal with the IM attack at the very end, and these lasers definitely hurt.
Yeah, they're always going to hurt. And Chrono with his epic miss.
Oh no, Chrono's dead. Oh wait, what? Ayla took 1 damage. What?
Ayla, strong girl.
Yes, Queen. Yeah. And a safe home drop. Holy crud! Safe home gives you 1/3 resist of all physical damage taken. It gives you the shield effect from the game if you use that active item for a single battle. But it's a passive effect. And that is an incredible headgear for any character. As we have Angriel in chat, I think that attack is percentage based. I should hope so, with only 1 damage. Okay, I think we're learning new stuff again tonight.
Almost every match with AzureCale and Dipwood, we're learning something new.
Is this a best of 1? What it is technically it's a best of 2 with a percentage point. Because Dipwood is the winner's bracket final, and AzureCale is the loser's bracket final. So AzureCale needs to win 2 matches to win. Dipwood only needs to win 1. But AzureCale gets Luca from the Cathedral drop. Oh, that could be huge.
Yeah, I'd be having Luca in my party instead of Chrono.
As we have dipwood on the Red Knight fight. You don't have any ice magic to reduce the defense and evasion. So you have to just rely on physical damage to get through it. The good news is the top and the bottom have about 1500 health. So you only have to get through that. Tailspin is a guaranteed hit. And it's one of those where you're trying to avoid taking too many turns because the core can get sucked to death. Once you get sucked to death on that core, it becomes a very, very, very dangerous fight.
Yeah, the only reason I'd be putting Luca in is Fire 2. That pairs very well and does incredible damage for a lot of dual attacks.
Luca's Fire 2 is one of the best scaling abilities in the game because it basically pairs with almost everyone. So she can get Bless or Curse because it's a 1 out of 8 chance. If it gets rolled between 1 to 5, you've got a great Luca. If it gets rolled 6 to 8, it's not a great Luca, unfortunately.
Azure just seeing what that prize is and not trying for it. And it was the gate key.
Interesting play. I just don't think that he thinks they can kill a mutant at this point, which is the main thing that I see there. Which is, in this boss randomizer, you're going to get a mutant there 50% of the time. Whether it's a Mega Mutant, the Terra Mutant, or the Giga Mutant is dependent. But the other options are Ret Knight or 2 Lavos spawns. So it is a difficult play to make, and that's why I say check bridge, but probably not actually do it.
Me, myself, I might try for it. And I have not seen Luca's tech list.
Okay, these runners know each other too well at this point. They're not going to try and lose time anywhere. AzureCale knows what he's running up against. He's already mentioned this before. As great of a runner AzureCale is, he's made it to this final. In head-to-head, he said, I've never won against dipwood. So he's trying to cut out time wherever he can. That's any menuing, that's anything that you can do in the aspect. That is the sort of competition you have to go into against some of these higher tier runners. So.
And Dipwood finding his own safe helm on Red Knight.
As you can see how it's cleanly actually Dipwood takes those. He spends exactly 5 seconds grabbing both the power tab and that chest that's kind of annoying to grab in the desert. That is what we're running against. So it is scary when you run against these runners who can nail all these inputs immediately.
Yeah, Dipwood's first match in this tournament was against me, and he beat me by 2 minutes.
The good news is Luca, one of her first techs is Fire 2. That is a huge find, because that means no matter what you bring, Robo is going to be great. Ayla is going to be great, because you have Blaze Kick, you have Fire Tackle. Just run with the one you want. It also means that you don't even need to pick up magic at this point. So, like, skipping the gate key makes perfect sense at this point. You have Fire 2. You don't give.
Dipwood found his bent hilt. Wonder if he's is gonna get that bent blade and just go for Magus Castle.
Again, for those who are wondering about Magus Castle and the Frog Lull in Claire Dark, very nice. It is a basically 45% chance that you get a Magus Castle go mode. It is the slowest out of all the go modes. This is well known at this point. I believe the other two are about 1% difference, making up the remainder. So 45% is 55. So you have the, I believe, 28 and 27% for the last two, if I remember right. So, and I may have missed that. Matt on Twitch, hello. How's everyone doing? Actually, no, that was right. Yeah, 45%, 28, and 27. So the Black Omen has 28%, and the Reptite Lair, which is considered the fastest go mode, is 27%. So,
yeah, when you're able to get any go mode in 20 minutes, you're pretty much just gonna lock in that go mode and go for it.
the other advantage is you get the high tier item from Taban at the same time. So you're just looking for something that gets you to that frog. So in this case, getting the Masamune gives you frogs. So.
And Chrono does know Luminaire. It's in his first 3 techs. Just would be nice to have Confuse in there too.
Well, we got a Valkyrie.
And we know Frog is in the burrow. And a golem on AzureCale side.
I don't know. Anytime that I get go mode in 20 minutes, that is insane. As somebody who's never going to go mode in 20 minutes, holy crud.
I've had go mode in 5 minutes, but that's because the first 2 checks were the 2 pieces of the sword and starting Frog.
Chrono Sanity, I'm assuming.
No, the Carpenter had 1 piece and Snailstop had the other piece.
The thing is, like, Magus Castle is still kind of scary at super low levels. That is the thing that people just don't tell you. It's like, yeah, you can go in there at like level 10, level 12. Is it going to be scary? Absolutely, because the mobs out-level you and you need the text to actually clear them.
Oh no, Azure. You found the pendant.
Oh no, he's probably going to go follow that path.
Yeah. And that opens up 3 new checks, another character, and more time.
Oh, but
But we got a new.
No.
And he does not fight the new.
Oh no! As much as I love it, it's like I feel the man. Like he's like, no, I'm gonna avoid unnecessary checks, even if you see the new, and it is really good. Like a new gives you plus 15 tech points just for fighting it, and it normally drops some decent items just from experience, but it can drop anything randomly. But news.
Yeah, I think its item is a high tier item mostly, or the percentage is more on that scale.
But dipwood, and I'm gonna say this with just a head to the desk, Dipwood is into Magus's castle at 24 minutes.
And
What
level 15.
What
Ish.
a chat.
And Azure is going to search everywhere because he is going to have everything open here soon. And Azure is not wrong. He just went to the wrong places early and did not find the pieces like Dipwood did.
Again, that is part of this randomizer. It's routing, and sometimes it bites you because you're like, I don't want to take certain places this way. And that's not on you. It really isn't. And don't feel that way. It's like when you're routing, it's like somebody can find a different way. Watch it back, try and learn from them. That is always what we say in the community. It's like, hey, look at every different routing strategy, because some of them will bite you sometimes. Even your own will bite you sometimes. So yeah, I'm very interested to see how this is going to go with garbage gear, as Batsy is saying right now. Because Dipwood has garbage gear, and that's important to note.
It all also depends on the bosses in these 2 random boss spots.
So what do you want to see to troll the heck out of Dipwood?
A Dalton Plus in one of them.
Oh, and a flea in the other one?
Yeah.
Heck yeah, let's go!
Or even a Heckran, something that you want magic. Well, Ayla has magic, and you got Luminaire.
Yeah, no, it's definitely a flea in my opinion.
Flea or Slash?
Heck yeah, I love me in style. Always troll the runners.
And Azure is getting hyper ethers on the bridge.
Now, what do we have on the bridge is a question. Again, we know mutants are 50% of the time. We have ret knights and we have lava spawns. So, and we get a mutant, and we get, is that Terra? That's Giga. Okay. Giga is a little bit more annoying. He's not as, in my opinion, harsh as Terra, because you don't have to deal with the 10, 50 heal that you get with Terra, where Giga Mutant can still just die to just, fire attacks. You don't really need to use fire tackle in this case. It does, I believe, is it 25%, 50% more damage than a fire 2, but single target still actually does cleave the bottom, if I remember right, in this fight slightly.
And you also, I believe, you have to take out the top and the bottom of this one too.
You do.
So fire tackle being single target, you gotta hit both of them.
And then you have to deal life shaver complications afterwards. So it's one of those where I look at it, I'm like, you may not want to do that.
Yeah, I'd be using Fire 2 and Ayla's Tailspin. And Robo would be throwing out items. And healing. Dipwood is grinding in a decent spot for early on Magus Castle.
Yeah, and you're going to have Firewhirl here. Like, you have the best tech in the game. You have Fire 2, you have Ayla. Firewhirl, baby. Firewhirl, Firewhirl, Firewhirl. There we go.
Yeah, Azure wanted to use Firewhirl, but Ayla was put to sleep right away.
As Batsy is saying, there are 2 Firewhirls in the game. There's the Firewhirl we talk about, which is Ayla and Luca, and there's Firewhirl that we just say that exists as a tech, which is Luca and Chrono. And the difference is, Firewhirl for Luca Ayla is Fire 2 and Tailspin, which bypasses magical defenses. As long as they don't absorb fire, you deal pretty much full damage to pretty much everything. And Luca's is Fire Toss and Cyclone, which is much lower damage and fire damage, so yeah. Best tech in the game, boys.
Dipwood, I think, feels confident enough to go on to see what this boss is, because you can see the boss and you don't have to fight it right away.
Now, the thing is, like, he has a gate key, which this could be a long-term play here, because he can immediately get magic unlock, which is only mattering to Luca and Chrono at this point. But the thing is, you have Firewhirl, so you can actually get the extra magic tap potentially, and you can get some of the stuff from this particular pass drop. If we get a Dreamstone combo here, with Dreamstone Ruby Knife in this particular scene, you can get through Magus' castle even faster if you get the right go mode. Magus' castle is well known to be the slowest out of all three go modes if you're starting it at the same time. And the thing is, most competent runners can actually get through Tyranno Lair in about 8 minutes.
Yeah, and Magus' castle is at least double that time.
With higher level and everything. So, with the amount of encounters that you get in Magus' castle and the boss encounters that you get, you're looking at a much higher time to complete it. So,
yeah, I timed one of mine going through Magus' castle. That was a fast time of 18 minutes. And AzureCale learning magic for Luca, because the other two don't need to learn magic.
again, AzureCale getting every time save that he can. The only advantage you get there is you get a magic tab and 5 ethers from that particular fight. So it makes perfect sense why they don't want to do it.
And if all of your characters do not know magic and you get into that fight, Specchio probably will target the magic users, knock them out, and you have to wait.
The good news is, even if you lose that fight, you don't actually get a hard reset at that point, which is the only good news from that one.
You get a full HP MP heal, and you're just waiting for Specchio to kill off that one that can't hurt him. Dipwood finishing that golem fight.
But again,
so he gets that nice save point.
Showing off how much time that takes at the low levels, you don't have that great gear, you're going to take a long time on that fight. So he went in here around, I believe, 24 minutes. Getting to this fight took him 8 minutes.
And that is a nice normal hole area.
So for those of you wondering what Aku is talking about, there are other holes that you can get if you get the other Evil Weevils dig properly. There are spots where you can go to high yield chests. However, AzureCale has already said, like, I have to play fast at this point. I cannot wait for anything extra. I have to just go. This is something that he knew going into it. So he's not going to wait for those Evil Weevils to dig in the proper spots to get extra things like Prism Shards, Prism Helms, Sunshades, Nova Armors, Rainbows, anything that you normally see there. He's just going at this point. But we get to see a flea in the normal spot. In fact, it's Vanilla Flea. But Super Volt coming into play. Again, early shock, early Luminaire. 900 damage. Not terrible. The question is, how many stairs is Dipwood going to get? Stairs are always common when you have 3 players up. And stairs are incredibly vital. If you get them, they could wipe the party. That's why anti-life strats are so popular when you have Magus in the party. Just as long as the character is down, you don't have to deal with the stair possibility.
And with this attack, Flea should either be down or very far into the stair, a counterattack. There's that stair. Does not take anyone out.
And on AzureCale's side, he is going into the Reptite lair, and his boss is going to be a Nizbel fight at this point.
And I believe Rock Throw would be a really good tech to use, which Dipwood is now checking out for us. And Dipwood is hoping for no more stair counterattacks and just ending the fight.
Whereas AzureCale is using the best technique game, Fire Whirl, let's go!
Dipwood is done with his fight on his side, so he can go further into Magus's castle. Nizbel should be going down shortly after the punishment he's taken.
Immediately trying to get a shelter heal before he goes back in. Wait, what? Oh,
Shopping trip.
Yeah, makes sense. You get all the ethers and the mid-tosh you need.
$99 ethers, 40 some mid tonics, 10 something heals, several shelters. Dipwood should be good for the rest of the game. Go through this runaway hallway. AzureCale taking out Nizbel. And Azure is going to find a Chrono Trigger. If he finds a clone, he'll have a whole different go mode with the different final boss. Pendant would bring you into the future, which would have 3 more checks to do, or availability of 3 more checks. And Azure checking desert is a nice quick check. With higher levels, it should be easier to get through. Dipwood just continuing on his stroll through this long castle, avoiding all of the fights that he can. And he does make it through without falling even once.
That's always impressive to see. Now, gets through the first check, second check, and the final check here coming up.
This third one is the one you have to know how to do. The other ones is just press up to go through the stairway and the freelance birds.
Terrifying where we go against with how cleanly he got all of those skips.
And Retinite is almost down on Azure's side, trying to get that extra experience and tech points, which he does get. And Azure is going to get his piece of the broken sword and maybe feel very far behind. Or hoping that Dipwood never went there and checked and found other things instead.
As Color Dark said, "Oh no, not another Magus castle." This has actually appeared previously. Dipwood's previous match was against SVJ and avoided the Magus castle, making gambles to find the Tyranno lair. So, you know, it could happen. Unfortunately today, we know that Dipwood is immediately committed to it, so...
And AzureCale is grabbing up that other piece of the sword. Gonna go follow Dipwood, see if he can't catch up. And Azure is not going to have to grind in the beginning. He can just run to the bosses and take them out on his way through.
Fortunately, he missed the item skip there. It's one of those where it's a little bit more tricky. You have to hold on to the right-hand side. It's the one time Dipwood actually missed his skip in all of Magus' castle, so...
Yeah, now how I tell people to do that skip is you click on the chest to open it, and you just run up. But he might be doing this to grind a little bit too.
Again, you're running into Magus at this point, which in my opinion is the gatekeeper of this go mode. Yeah, Lavos is still a gatekeeper, but you can grind before Magus. Before Lavos. And Magus can still just hurt you if you do not have the right elemental mail. You need to have enough damage to kill him in a reasonable amount of time.
And as Color Dark is saying he saw Charm as a next tech, I would be wanting Charm also for the gears. Charm them, they go down, you get an extra item from that fight.
Next we have AzureCale already turning in his sword to Melchior, just like Dipwood did. And he's going to grab Frog out of the burrow.
And
first,
fighting the noob.
No! But this
Now
time we get the sweet, sweet tech points from the new and Beast Tossed.
And it dropped a Hyper Ether, which is good, but not really worth fighting news over and over for. The Seed really likes giving up Hyper Ethers. Yeah, Frog on Azure's side doesn't know if he wants to travel with a robot, prehistoric girl, and a techie girl. Doesn't know if it's a right fit for him. Yeah, this what's going on is more on SpeedGaming side, behind the scenes stuff with Azure's stream.
It's Chrono. Which I don't think we have. Yeah, we do not have any sort of white mail at this point. And I don't know if we have any rainbow helms. Oh, this could be interesting. With only a wall ring helping you through the soften rage. Oh, goodness. That is an enticing seed at this point.
All right, we can do color commentary like crimson, chartreuse, teal.
Oh, yeah, I see your notions. But again, like, this is something that has been happening recently, and I apologize on the act of our hosts here. Again, anybody who's living in this particular region of the States, there has been heavy loads on certain ISPs. Especially for restreamers, this has been happening as of late, unfortunately. But, you know, if you're looking for off color, here's some white damage coming in. And, unfortunately, we're into the fight now with dipwood. And it looks like we're using barriers on everyone, which is a fantastic maneuver because you're going to get countered every time with magic no matter what. So, using your magic walls, using your barriers here, super valuable. It takes 33% damage off of all of counterattack. And Super Bowl proving to be an amazing tech right now with 2.7k. Holy crud. Again, you get slightly increased damage when it's the quote-unquote weakness of the barrier. It will reduce, I believe, about by 80% when he's just casting a spell. But it is what it is. As he's going through this one, he's going to try and get some probably healing up at this point, and then he's going to try and get everyone prepped for the final phase. Again, you're going to run into a case where you have to get through half of Magus's potential health here at the very end of the phase when they're casting a spell. Now, you can do physical damage or whatever the last barrier has at that point, but you cannot hit it with any other magical attack at that point. Because if you hit it with any other magical attack outside of like Tailspin, which is unaspected at that point, it's going to heal the boss. So what you want to do is hit it as much as physical damage. If it doesn't give you a counter, go physical or whatever the last element it was, and then keep moving forward. That's how you beat the Magus fight. And Magus is a very difficult fight in this particular aspect because, again, you are in a soft enrage format. He's going to keep spamming whatever element he has at that point once you get to the soft enrage point. And as you are working on this one, again, you cannot do any sort of action against the particular fight until you have the correct barrier or he's done the casting spell. If you're using elemental damage, that's bad. He's in the risking casting as well at this point, which is a soft enrage. Soft enrage means that you can immediately go in as hard as possible. He's going to keep casting Luminaire in this particular instance and keep going to try and kill you. But we have AzureCale on fleet. AzureCale on fleet going to kill the puppet and keep going. But Luminaire coming out on dipwood side. This could be a potential death on potentially Chrono here. What do we get? With all these barriers, he survives one round. However, you have exactly like 2 to 3 turns depending on your speed here. You have to keep going in for damage. With Super Volt doing this much damage, there's only going to be about a couple turns you can get this off. With 2,000 damage, that should be good enough, and he gets a clear.
If dipwood making sure we know how to use our items, and if we don't, we stay behind and can't really catch up.
But yes, MVP barrier, as Falconet says. MVP barrier. You want a reason to use those things? Right there. Magic Wall from Magus does the same effect. Robo's Ribbon, Hero Medal for those particular characters. So, dipwood is into the Dark Ages at 53 minutes in. That is huge. We are looking at a potential world record time at this point.
Yeah, and it's going to come down to the next 2 random boss battles on Dipwood's side for that world record.
As AzureCale is making his way through the Aussie Gauntlet, the first encounters that you can get there.
And Azure coming in here this early is still really, really good pace.
Speed built Giga Arm. Giga Arm is great. It's the 3rd best arm for a Robo, as both me and my senpai knows. But unfortunately, he does not have Robo Tackle. I'm sorry, Fire Tackle to carry him through, so... But we do have Mega Elixirs for sale, and omelets, man. So if y'all hungry, we got omelets for sale.
Omelets protect you from status. Yeah, no free omelets with Magus. Haven't picked any up. So do you buy the omelets or do you buy Mega Elixirs?
Always Mega Elixirs. Mega Elixirs are just so more useful. If I get hit by status effects, I get heals potentially. If I can dodge them, then I dodge them. But Mega Elixirs will make or break a run, in my opinion.
Yeah, come into our Discord. Kiyu put in a link to it. Check out the website. And we're all here to help people out. We got a nice giant dino head staring at us.
We got Rust Toronto. That is actually pretty nice to see here because it's a slower fight, and with this amount of damage, you're going to clear it. That is actually a great fight to see here. As an experienced runner, a lot of people say it's like, what do you want to see in any spot that you're considering, like, oh, this is dangerous. Anytime you see Golem Boss, anytime you see Rust Toronto, those are always biases you want to see because they have a long warm-up time. The Golem Boss is completely free. The Rust Toronto has a long warm-up time before it does anything, so these are great fights to see.
AzureCale has learned how to go past these bird fights. And this one, the bird will move around your 3rd character, but you want to let the bird go a little bit more off the side. And the magic to use at this time is water. Water will damage the bird and the juggler up there. And with that Vigil hat that Azure found, he would have one character protect with status protection. And I would have that on Ayla because her kiss will recover anyone else's status.
But yeah, to the person who Loxley, like we said before, like this is boss randomizer. That's just one of the many flag sets you can run. We have certain unique flag sets like Lost Worlds where you don't have access to 600 and 1080. We have flag sets like Legacy Osiris, which is a very unique run which I don't know, maybe there are some world record holders potentially in this Discord call, I don't know. But a lot of other things. If you're interested at all, the Discord is in the links. Please join the Discord. We can help you with any questions that you have. We've got a lot of knowledge to give, so.
Coming here at level 24 for Dipwood, he's going to damage Ayla in this fight. This is how he gets ready for Dino Tail.
Yep. It's one of those more unique maneuvers. He purposely attacks the Red Scouters with an alternate attack to get 2 Fire 2 counters, and that's how he lowers Ayla very quickly for Dino Tail scaling. It is also nice if you want to use it for some sort of grinding at that point at the same time. And it's a very advanced tactic that I would not recommend to a lot of new players. The other advantage is you get a free chest check, which you'd normally not get otherwise, so... But Azure is already on Aussie at 1 hour in, so not even that far behind Dipwood.
Yeah, really, it's just a few minutes. And Azure doing an extra dungeon check, too.
So the question is, will the aspect of having Luca in the party make a difference here? Because you're going to run into this point where you're going to potentially have like Blaze Kick, or especially Fire Tackle at this point with Terror. Is that enough time to make up at this point?
And also, how far is Dipwood going to grind in this next couple of fights?
I have already talked to AzureCale about this particular thing. He is going to be full in. Like, he knows Dipwood likes to go at 27. So I imagine he's not going to grind at all when he gets there. But a 24 to 27 grind is a lot different between a 27 to 35 grind. As somebody who is well known for their, well, let's say Starbucks approach to these kind of seeds, right, Aku?
Yes. I grind up to 29-30 myself.
I never go to Lavos before 32. I recommend anybody new to this run, definitely don't go sub 35 outside this grind. If you get this grind, go to 35. You will thank me later if you are not super familiar with the Lavos, because you will get punished otherwise.
Yeah, the more familiar you are with this, the lower your levels can be.
And again, like, I'm only 3 months in at this point. Like, I know all of my compatriots here have been in there much, much longer at this point. I look at 27 and I'm like, you are suicidal. But they have menuing down to a T. They have all their skips down to a T. They know exactly any sort of script that you can come to at this point. And it is scary to watch them work.
And do not be afraid to turn the battle speed down against Lavos to give yourself more time.
Has a great maneuver as well. Again, like, if you're not comfortable going fight, you're not comfortable going into the elevator skips using Dino Tail against them, just turn the battle speed down. It is a quick check. All you have to do is go into the menu, go to your battle speed, turn that up to 5, 7, or even 9 if you're not feeling confident. Just make sure you're comfortable going into it. anytime that you quote-unquote lose in your safety there, means that you can slowly start working yourself back, lean yourself back from that.
And Blaze Kick dealing almost 3,000 damage to Chrono Magus.
That is awesome. Unfortunately, gets immediately killed off by an auto attack. Oh no! 27 across the board. I can only assume that Dipwood is going to go at this point. He's got a Kali Blade at this point. So if he takes any more fights at this point, it's probably just going to be on the way down potentially. Again, he doesn't have the same kind of dual text. He's reliant on Falcon Hit to actually get the clears at this point for the actual elevator, which is actually very good in my opinion. Falcon Hit is crazy good, especially in jets. It's one of those where you normally don't get it. You need Spin Cut and you need Rock Throw. And that's how they do it in the actual speed run for the vanilla game, if I remember correctly.
I believe it is that, too.
So it's one of those where, like, you have elevator clear. It's just like you have to make sure you have enough for Lavos, which is the big worry in my opinion if I was running this particular comp. Because you need enough damage on Ayla, which scales really well leveled. Again, she scales, I believe, 1.8 power plus her level for a lot of her abilities, so. You don't really need Dino Tail because, again, you have Falcon it early, but.
But when you worked on Ayla getting her HP down,
Again, it's a weird point in this scene, because, like, Falcon Hit is good enough. You got a Kali Blade, so. But I agree with Cthulhu at this point. This is Dipwood's match to lose. So, something we haven't mentioned is, AzureCale is coming from the loser bracket finals. So he needs to win 2 matches in a row to actually dethrone Dipwood from this. Dipwood only needs to win one of the matches. So, all he needs to do is win one. So, be safe. Be confident, make sure you get the win.
AzureCale in 12,000 BC now. Gonna do his final shopping. And this shop has guaranteed revives and shelters and basic gear for every character.
I agree with Cthulhu in the chat. World record is not achievable. You'd have to be at Lavos at this point. World record is held currently. Is it Dipwood actually at this point?
Yes, it is.
It's like 120. Is it like 43 or something like that? I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact.
117.
Oh, okay, my bad. Thank you. So this is still like one of those scenes, like he only has to not lose it at this point, which is something that is a very much a thing in your mind. You're like, well, I can overgrind, I should still be fine. Especially when you're that mechanically gifted at this game, so.
And Dipwood I did not see his world record run. Probably had a different team up at that for that time too. AzureCale found something he liked, which I believe is the Mega Elixir. And making sure no one will get statused against Lavos.
Is that actually true at this point, Cthulhu?
A previous champion versus recent champion.
Because Moon Blizzard was the champion of the spring tournament, and that would be a heck of a sight to see. Oh, let's see if Blue Rock comes into play. As somebody who also had to deal with some sort of rock controversy.
Dipwood using the tried and true Dino Tail text. And AzureCale showing that even if you do extra checks, that means you are going to be a little bit higher level. You might not need to grind as much, like Dipwood was doing. AzureCale finishing up the big rusty Tyranno head.
And he'll be going into the Ocean Palace at 1 hour, 12 minutes, and I believe at this point it's going to be 40 seconds, if I'm right. Say 1 minute. Oh, no, right. It's much quicker than I thought it was. 1 minute 20 for the Tyranno layer, 1 minute 40 for the Black Omen, and for that one it's only 10 seconds.
And entering at level 25, 26. I'd be grinding up a couple of levels and moving on myself.
Dipwood is already at level 32 at this point, going into this, and that is a very comfortable level in my opinion for somebody of his quality, so...
And one more random boss fight, and we get to see two of whatever boss this is.
And unfortunately, with how quick Dipwood did that, that is an incredible, impressive split. I'm sorry, those skips are very hard for any sort of new runner. It's impressive to just watch him just do it mechanically.
Yeah, me, how I do it is I run in and I walk out.
It is still insane. Just watch him. It took less than a minute on those skips, and I'm like, I've gotten that skip exactly one time in my career. That is an incredible skip to get so clean.
You had to check out to see what blade was better, the Vedic or Kali blade. Finding out it's the Kali blade, and we get the upgraded Flea.
Ooh, Flea Plus. This could actually be a big situation here. Because, like, in my opinion, you just beast toss these boys. As Dipple would say to me, just beast toss.
Why not stop?
They're vulnerable to stop.
Yes.
Welcome to learning with Dipwood.
Make sure they don't do anything. That counterattack is now obsolete.
As Dipwood says to me, it's like, why didn't you just beast toss them? Well, we can just boogie them. I am scared now.
And AzureCale would be able to do the same tech against the fleas also.
That knowledge, man. Holy crud.
Yep, turns it into a nice free fight with Boogie.
60-second fight against Flea Plus with Boogie. Are you kidding me?
Double Flea Plus on top of it.
Like I said, those who are willing to learn, there's your example right there. Flea Plus is vulnerable to stop. Writing down notes right now.
And a lot of these status effects that we're able to do, we are going back to our vanilla playthroughs and not knowing you can do this because it's not available at the time when you fight them. As everyone is scribbling notes like, use Boogie more often.
It just goes to show that the veteran of this game just know the game so well. But AzureCale is showing off Falcon hits on the elevator.
So much better than the vanilla game because it's an AoE attack now.
Now the question is, how many omelets does Dipwood have? It's just slow today. Oh!
They should have just bought Mega Elixirs, not worried about the omelets.
Slow is basically the second best case scenario. The only better thing is poison.
Yeah. Yeah, you might do a little bit of decreased damage, but that can be done with just attacking more. With slow, you can't really attack more, you just attack harder.
And both Aku and I should know that Boogie would be useful against Flea Plus and Ozzy's Fort as people who run Legacy Osiris. Unfortunately, I think we're both on the opinion just to kill it with fire at this point, yes?
Well, with Legacy of Cyrus, you cannot have the Boogie team.
That's a good point, because you need Magus and Frog in the party, so you can't have Robo and Ayla, so...
And as you're getting the skip to the switch, but not coming back out, where you would walk out at an angle to go by the trigger.
Again,
and then when you get past that trigger, you run out of that room.
It's a very difficult skip to execute, as I am looking at AzureCale and like, I know that feel every time.
But it is a runnable encounter.
But Dipwood is into Inner Lavos at this point at 1 hour and about probably 90 minutes going into the fight.
Yeah. And he knows the omelets are still useful. If he has a better accessory, I'd be putting that on to deal more damage.
I agree with that one. It's like you've got only slow at that point, so it's like, it's not stop, it's not chaos. I'm gonna just go with it. Especially, it's not stop, it's not chaos, and it's not lock. Those are the three things I look for. So, chaos controls your character, lock locks you out of text, and well, stop is nasty.
Let's see how Azure deals with double flee plus.
He also knows Boogie works!
Nice. And then Flare and Beast Toss or something else with Robo and Ayla. Yeah, Beast Toss.
Oh, considering how many times dipwood and AzureCale were in my chat, it's like, just Beast Toss, bros. Okay, so Chrono does not have this at this point. AzureCale is through the fight at this point. And he has Luca at this point. Oh goodness, this could be close coming into the end. Dipwood has just cleared the 2 arms. AzureCale has cleared the fleet fight in about 30 seconds. Oh goodness, this is getting close at this point.
Yeah, Lavos fights on both sides.
Again, slight differential in levels at this point, but AzureCale has Luca, which means he has Blaze Kicks potentially going into the final fight.
He does have Blaze Kick.
And the shell fight.
Final fight.
And the shell fight too, which is like, this is huge. Oh goodness, this could get really close coming into the end. Again, like, I do not think that Dipwood's going to potentially miss a menu glitch here, but that could come down to it. You miss a menu glitch, you have to recover from that.
Yeah, that's a wasted menu, wasted attack right away.
Sloppy Lavos could still be a thing. Lavos could just give you no qualms. He just will come at you and hurt you. Like, we have so much RNG still left in this fight, and AzureCale is on that 3.2k, 3.2k from a Blaze Kick before the first attack, and you're only getting 15k from a counterattack from Dipwood. This is huge. This could make a difference here. The slight minor routing differential could play a huge difference here. The fact that you have Fire Whirl, the fact that you have these other things available. You have no dual text on Dipwood's side against Lavos.
Biggest route divergence was going through Cathedral and picking up Luca on Azure's side to really catch up to Dipwood.
As AzureCale has completed Lavos Shell that quickly, Dipwood has just completed Inner Lavos at this point. This is getting intense at this point.
And also unlocking magic for Azure to make sure he's got Luca all of her techs, or most of them.
Again, if AzureCale wins here, we still have another match. If Dipwood wins, this is game over. This is GG. But Dipwood gets the menu glitch. but he has no dual text to get through this one, which is going to be a time loss at this point. That is, would you consider confirmed?
He's got... Dipwood does have some good stuff to use, like Falcon Hit.
I mean, Falcon Hit can lend you into left bit strats at this point, so, like, yeah, definitely left bit. Oh, didn't use Falcon Hit. Ah, I disagree from that one.
Yeah, Dipwood doing left bit strats. He's got a nice physical team.
Going in with Super Bolts, which is exactly what you expect from this team. Cleave the big guy while you're trying to do it, so you can set him a low damage when you're going into trying to reset that bed. 2.8.
Yeah, doing Luminaire and Shock damage together with a bonus for it being a dual tech. One arm is down on Azure side.
Okay, so that center bit is ready to go at this point, so you definitely don't want to do any more damage. And we have 4.8 and then another 1.5, so it is at a total of a 6.3. Okay, so he's going to kill off center bit at this point.
Which isn't a bad play to do, because now you can keep doing the Super Volt and not get counterattacked. AzureCale has just the big middle part to go through for part 2.
After 2 Super Volts at this point, after getting the 9.1 from the previous one, you're at a 11.9 at this point on the right bit, so.
Yeah, Dipwood might have to take out one of the other 2 bits to finish off the right bit. And he knows that.
Again, at 14 point, I believe, 7 at this point. You're close, you're going to get a counter from this particular attack, unfortunately, but...
Unless if you take it out. Nope, did not take it out yet.
Yeah, that was not going to be enough, unfortunately. I knew that one, but... With the triple kick and the additional last one, they're like, yep, that's it. So...
Yeah.
And Dipwood takes the Grandfinals. At an official score of 127-23. But
get your GGs in chat for Dipwood winning this tournament.
That is an insane time. And I'm going to keep saying this one. If Dipwood joins us at this point, he may. But AzureCale is in the final fight at this point. He is going with center bit strats at this point. He's using flare. He's using a semi-strat at this point. He's going to clear out the left bit Unfortunately, Robo misses on the Uzi punch. Why? Why, Robo? Why? Hey, dipwood.
Fleet plus, more like free plus.
Boogie indeed. Unfortunately, we got dipwood. We got Azure on the final boss here. We got him trying to kill off left bit at this point, and he's going to go in with another triple kick and gets the left bit down. And he's going with the left bit strats. Unfortunately, he's going to get the evil star attack against him. That's going to reduce all of his party members below 50% at this point. Again, it reduces 50% of their current health at this point. He's going to keep going in. Lavos core on the right has finally shut off his defenses. He's going in for damage. With flare damage coming in from his Luca that he got from Cathedral, he got 1.7k in. He's going to go in for another 1.5k. He's going to keep going with flares from Luca. And he's going to use Robo to get some more text in with using this Mega Elixir. Mega Elixir, great maneuver at this point. He's lower in MP. He cannot continue his offensive assault. He wants to make sure that middle bit is close to dead. Unfortunately, it died before the right bit decided to revive. Flare comes in. Another 1.7. So he's at 3.4 at this point. I am mistaken. I'm sorry. He's at 6.4. And additionally, he is at 7.7 at this point on the right bit. He needs 20 to finish. He's using these flares to clear off center bit as he's trying to work on that right bit, getting some cleave damage in. Very, very valuable cleave damage at 7.7, going up to a 9.4, going to additionally a 11.9. And finally, with the addition of the Robo Punch, is a 13.1. $14.8 at this point after the flare hit. He's getting very close to completing this seed. Some fire whirls, some robo tackles at this point, flyer tackles, but unfortunately Luca goes down at this point. How are you going to get this done? Using a heal beam at this point from Robo to actually try and save this particular seed.
Yeah, I don't think I saw Mega Elixirs in his inventory.
He already used his Mega Elixirs, unfortunately, for damage at this point. Fortunately, he's going to need to clear off one of the bits at this point. Whether he needs to use fire worlds or if he needs to do anything else, that's the question. As we have another triple kick coming in for 1.5k. Center bit is finally down, so he can go in with fire tackles at this point if he wishes to. He is very close at this point. One fire tackle probably is enough damage to kill it off. Blaze Kick would also be good. And one final one to get it done. And we have an official time here from AzureCale as he gets a kill at 1:34:16.6. Again, I am sorry, Dipwood, for that one. We had 2 runners in Lavos 3 at that point. I wanted to give credence to the runner trying to finish. As we have both runners joining us in chat.
I don't know what it's gonna take, man. Oh, you got go mode a lot quicker than I did.
I assume you did like heck run or something.
Yeah, I did Heckran and Reptite and Unlocked Magic.
So that's a lot of extra stuff.
Yeah, but I had Luca, so it kind of helped me catch up a little bit, I think. To only be 7 minutes behind.
Where was Luca?
She was at the end of Cathedral.
Looks like she had 3rd skill flare.
No. Flare was one of her last few, but Fire Whirl was carrying me.
Super Volt was carrying me.
Uh,
I put all those +3 magic tabs on Chrono and just super volted my way through.
well, I get a new PB and it still, again, wasn't enough.
I'm sorry, you got a 134. I am jealous, personally. My man, Dipwood, 1:27:23 official time, but like for your actual stream, 1:27:20 because again, race GG. 1:34:12. Those are insane times in Boss Randomizer.
Yeah, they are, especially when low end times on average are right around 2 hours.
That seems pretty speedy.
Yeah.
Considering putting some magic tabs on Alo to make Desert go faster. But I felt like there was a chance I needed them for Chrono.
Well, GG, my friend.
GG.
So I have to say this first of all. AzureCale, congratulations for your contribution to the tournament. I am sorry that you lost in this tournament. With a sub 2 hour run and you still lost. What the heck? But like, it's not even a sub 2 hour, it's a 1:34 time. That is an insane time in this particular flag set. And Dipwood, to our gold medal winner at 1:27. This was a Jets of Time grand final that absolutely said the exact nomenclature of the randomizer. How do you both feel?
I feel like I still have a long way to go, apparently, to catch up to Dipwood, but I knew that going into it. I'm just glad it was as close as it was, and I definitely look forward to watching that one back.
It was fun. This is my favorite mode, and I'm really glad that the Twin Golem spot was Flea Plus and not Flea Vanilla.
I also cheered at that.
Like, at first I saw the models, I'm like, no, and then I saw the plus, I'm like, yes.
What was your final team?
Chrono, Robo, Ayla.
Boogie Strats.
Yeah. And then I just super volted everything and triple kicked everything.
I did get to Beast Toss, which was fun. Beast tossing the Magus slot.
I only got Beast Toss after beating Magus, so my Magus took a little while. Though on the last weakness, it was Lightning, and I did a 2700 Super Volt, and then before he started the cast spell thing, I did another Super Volt for 2700. He was just like almost dead. Sleep on Super Volt. It's not as strong as Fire Twister, but it gets the job done.
It got the 127 done.
Indeed. Due to the time constraints, there were a lot of racers who I would have liked to see, like Chagosura, Zelfer, Moon Blizzard, Corinth, Procky, Pseudo-Arc. I think all those people are as good as me, if not better. But we do have Ladder, where some of them are participating.
That is true. So anybody who actually wants to join us, we do have a current running async tournament in the Discord. Please join us there. Unfortunately, you're not available to join us for the actual roll-off at the finals, but it's good practice for anybody who actually wants to get into this. For questions here, again, you got another Magus seed. We know it's 45%, 28, 27. How did you feel at that point?
I don't mind Magus that much, actually. It's fun to try to get through there quickly.
I mean, Magus is fine. Sometimes he's even easier than Black Tyranno. Black Tyranno, if you're too low level and don't have the equipment, the ultimate will just kill you. Whereas Magus' ultimate does less damage, so you can fight him at a lower level.
Yeah, there's also a lot more XP going up to Magus than there would be to Tyranno.
So Aku, I saw you did the bridge fight earlier on, and for the gate key and seeing if you could get magic unlocked for Luca. What did you want to see there, and what didn't you want to see there? Because I have to ask this for the chat.
Sorry, what would I have rather seen on the bridge?
Yes, please.
It wasn't that bad of a mutant. I should have just started off with Fire Whirl instead of doing the fire tackles. But I was pretty happy with the decision to do bridge and hop into the end of time. I feel like with the extra checks I did, I was pretty far behind, but having Luca and her magic helped me catch up a little bit.
And dipwood, when you get that early sort of comp, what would you recommend people to look for? It's whenever you're looking at these comps, dipwood, Azure, both of you come in. It's when you're looking at these comps as a player who's potentially new coming into this particular seeds, what you look at for comps. I'll open this one up to our winner tonight. Again, sorry, Azure. Dipwood, what would you say, what were your 3 comps that you'd want to see when you're coming into a seed? And why?
Well, I mean, my favorite comp is probably Crisis Harm, Robo, Chrono, and Luca. Because you got the Crisis Arm, and you got fire tackles with it, and you got Chrono being a sort of jack of all trades. There's so many bosses with where his lightning helps. If you get a rainbow on him, he's doing immense amounts of damage, even more than Ayla. And then probably my second favorite team is probably Luca, Ayla, Chrono. So 2 fast people, and then Luca dump all the speed tabs, and there's Blaze Kick while Chrono's being Chemist. And then once again, Chrono can do all the lightning stuff, and also we got Fire Sword too for the Twin Golem spot to clean him up quickly.
Is there any other comps that you want to highlight there, AzureCale? I'm sorry that's throwing you on the bus on this one, but
not especially. I learn things every run, learn new comfortability. think the important part is just being comfortable no matter who you roll. So get used to comps you're not used to. The biggest thing I've learned with randomizer is to learn when to be uncomfortable and be okay with it.
I mean, ideally, you'd want some strong source of physical damage and a strong source of AoE magic damage. If you have that in the comp, no matter what comp it is, you're probably fine. Any team with Luca or Magus in them, it's gonna do fine probably, no matter who the rest of the party is.
Okay, so Aku, any last words you want to give to this particular seed, or anything that you want to say as we wrap up this grand tournament for SGLIVE 2021?
A grand tournament, grand people going into the finals. You can almost say Grand Leon finals for us, just because Frog.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
our silver medal players, AzureCale, how are you doing? Any last words you have?
No, I'm gonna put my nose back to the grindstone and get ready for the next tournament. Be it the ladder or whatever comes after that, and I expect to hopefully be back again.
And for our grand champion, Dipwood, who's coming away as our tournament winner in the grand finals of SGLIVE 2021. What are your final words?
Thanks to SpeedGaming for allowing us to host this, and I hope I see more people in the Discord, people who've seen the stream and are interested in the randomizer.
Well, from me and everyone else here, please follow the links that you see in the stream. Please give a follow to AzureCale, Dipwood, and if you feel like the people who did the commentary tonight, Kikatsuki or Ash, myself, we are grateful to be here on SG4 tonight. Thank you again for coming to this tournament, and hopefully you learned something tonight. If you want to play the game, there are links in the description below. And once again, congratulations, Dipwood, and may you kill Lavos with all the jurisdiction that you have. Good night, everyone and fam.